Well, it's kind of like a homecoming. I'm shooting a video for the first release of my new album, which this is going to be released on May the 16th. And the song is called My Best Days, and it's a kind of a passing of the torch, cool kind of video. You know, as a singer, I thought, you know, becoming a righteous brother was
the pinnacle, right? Yeah.
And now that Bill is kind of starting to wind it down a little bit, you know, I started thinking about my future and said, you know, I've been given the permission from Bill to carry on the Righteous Brothers name, which I will continue to do proudly.
That's awesome, dude.
But you know, the other option is I can, as a solo artist, I still think I've still got something to give. And so we went to Nashville and recorded an album, all original songs. I wrote one, but some of the best songwriters in Nashville, Ken Blasey, who wrote Garth Brooks.
And you were
Tom
actually
Arthur Becomes.
you were actually pitched songs, like folks lined up to be like, "Hey, Buck."
Yeah, my manager Brenda Klein is awesome. Long time, you know, been in the business in Nashville for many years. Her and her husband, and she probably went through from different song pluggers at least 200 songs, maybe more, and we picked, you know, 7. Well, actually 6, because one's a cover. We're redoing "Crying" by Roy Orbison.
Now that's something that you've been doing in the Righteous Brothers show for a while, and
Yeah.
I remember when you first started doing it, you and I talked about it, and
I was petrified.
you said Bill wants me to do "Crying," and I was like, "Oh, okay." And you were worried because that's a big song,
Never
right?
do. The only Orbison song I've ever even attempted was Pretty Woman. Pretty Woman, yeah, Pretty Woman, because Van Halen did it.
Oh, that's right.
And I did the David Lee Roth version, which
Okay.
I could cover that. But doing Roy, I mean, Elvis called him the voice, and to me, he was untouchable. So when Bill wanted me to do Orbison, I was like, oh, okay. And he said, "Don't worry about it." He goes, "I'm going to build the arrangement around you." He knows what kind of singer I am. I'm different than Roy, so we do it in the show, and it's on our Righteous Brothers album that we cut when we redid all the songs. But we decided what a cool thing would be to recut the song. And Chris Lusinger, who was my music director for the album project, who's been with Garth Brooks since Garth started. Every solo you've heard on any Garth Brooks on this, Chris Lusinger. And me and my producer Bob Bullock are on our way to the studio that morning to cut. And he calls us on, puts us on the on speakerphone in the car, and he said, "I think I got an idea for this cool intro, and if you guys don't like it, we don't have to do it." Me and Bob look at each other like, like we're not gonna like it. And it almost sounds like I like it better than Roy's version. I really do, and it's hard to say, but it's got this melancholy. You don't even know it's crying.
It's really good. It
sounds like almost a Chris Isaacs kind of thing, but you don't even know it's crying. It's so melancholy and sweet. And then we jump into the song. So that'll be a later release, but this first one is called My Best Days, and like I said, it's about my best days are ahead of me. You know, age ain't nothing but a number, and I really want to encourage people, no matter what they want to do, whether it's not necessarily in the entertainment business, but whatever business that they want to, or what they want to achieve in life. You know, age is nothing but a number. It's all in your head, it's all in your mind, and you just got to believe in yourself, and you got to give yourself a shot, and you got to give yourself a chance, because I always feel like I can live with failure, but I cannot live with regret.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm going to try. That's what this album's all about.
So I'm glad you circle back around to the album. What genre? Is this a country album?
Rock.
All right, country rock.
We're looking like talking Bob Seger, you know, John Fogerty.
Okay.
We're bringing back rock and roll.
Okay,
man.
all right.
I mean, rock and roll.
With a little, and
With a country edge. We got fiddle, a little bit of
and I'm
steel.
guessing that this sounds more country than what's on country radio right now.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's such a punch. You know,
It is.
It's really called Americana, which is why, you know, as an older entertainer, I'm not really scared to jump out there. I'm not really scared to jump out there, because Americana is kind of engulfs everything.
It really does, man.
You know, it's kind of like what Kenny Rogers kind of did with adult contemporary. He crossed over into country and pop and
Michael Bolton as well,
all that,
R&B,
all that,
pop,
yeah.
easy listening, all that stuff.
So
yeah.
that's kind of what, and if the Eagles came out today, they would be Americana.
Yeah.
Or they would probably lean more towards country.
Country, yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Tequila Sunrise, that's a country
right.
song. And so this is rock and roll. We're doing rock and roll, but we're doing some really beautiful ballads on the album that are, it's been compared to, and I hope they're not talking about the way I look, but it's been compared to Meatloaf. You know how Meatloaf is.
Yeah.
You know, that Bat Out of Hell album is, you know.
It's the voice, it's the
and
power, and you've got
emotion.
that.
And I asked Bill before, I said, do you think I'm Blue Eyed Soul? Because I said, who do you think's Blue Eyed Soul? Bob Seger. he thinks Daryl Hall is actually Blue Eyed Soul.
Yep.
He sings bubblegum songs, but he's Blue Eyed Soul.
Right.
But I said, do you think I'm Blue Eyed Soul? And he said, I think you can sing Blue Eyed Soul. You wouldn't be doing what you're doing. But I think you're a rock opera, which is also what my publicist said. And they used the same comparison, the Meatloaf, you know, because it's almost like rock opera. It's almost theatrical, but with a rock edge. And so emotional music, heart music. That's kind of what we're going for. And like I said, we got the one cover. And then the other stuff is very Bob Seger-ish, very, you know, rock and roll driving. And we got some fiddle on there, and some steel guitar, which I'm not a fan of steel guitar on songs.
Unless it's done right.
And my producer, like Bob Bullock, was amazing. And the team he assembled on this record was, you know, off the charts.
What's the name of the album, Buck?
The name of the album is Breathless.
Breathless is the name of the album. It's going to be released May 16th.
May 16th, the first song is called My Best Days, and that'll be the release May 16th. And then on June 20th, we'll do the one we shot here in town.
It is
what it is till it ain't.
That's exactly right. You can find out more, BuckyHerd.com. You still got the BuckyHerd.com?
Indeed it is, sir.
Excellent. And Bucky Herd on Facebook. He has a friend page and a fan page.
No friends on there, but I've got a page.
Yeah, he does. No real friends anyway. So anything else you want to say, Buck?
I think that's it, son.
Awesome.
Woo!
There you go. Good. That was good.
You take me right there.
I did. I got you. I dinked him right on up. Kevin, you want to add?